it going, guys? So on today's video, originally I had planned to have some brand new dyno numbers for you. The new numbers with the phase lock in and the new tune, hopefully getting rid of that flat spot in my dyno graph that I've shown you time and time again on this channel. Hitting those new numbers that I was hoping for, but probably around that 415 to 420 range is kind of what I was expecting, up from the 402 horsepower that I had before to the rear wheels. I even shot this intro on my way to the dyno. Hey, how's it going, guys? So first thing Saturday morning here, literally just on my way to the dyno, meet up with Chris at Player 3 Performance Tuning. Really excited. Kinda nervous too. I guess we'll see what kind of numbers we end up putting down. Couple little things that I want to work out, and I'm just curious. I guess the best way I can describe it is I'm trying to temper my expectations. But then, of course, things just couldn't work out the way that they're supposed to work out. So remember the first video I shot as spring was just kind of rolling around. The snow had just melted. It wasn't even quite spring yet. It's the first drive since I'd installed that phase lock. You remember that video right here? It's revving up to three grand.
Oh my god, from a stop? Becoming handy racing.
And then it just cut itself out at 3,500 RPM. Interesting. It's not me.
Oh my god.
Wow.
These people are all like, okay, settle down there, buddy.
The car was revving non-stop up to 3 grand, 3,500, and just holding it there. Every time I pushed the clutch in, sometimes when I even touched the gas, like the car would not settle down. It was acting super strange.
Oh no, and there's a little grandma crossing the street. Oh my god, this is awkward.
A little bit. Yeah.
She took it well.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't give me a terribly dirty look. So now, right after we did the initial cam install with the phase limiter, we fired up the car, and this is before we had the tune in it, the proper tune for the cam, and quickly I shot a check engine light, and it was a cam and crank position fault code. No big deal. I fired in the Diablo, cleared the code, didn't come back. Never had any problems. Took it to get tuned. Ran great the whole time. No worries, no problems. So now fast forward to after I installed that phase lock, and the first time firing up the car, I got the same code, but I didn't think anything of it. Then I tried to clear it, the code came back. And I tried to clear it, and the code came back. Now I thought it was something just kind of strange that the computer was doing, trying to deal with the lock in the phaser instead of the limiter, because I was so totally confident that we had our timing lined up deadly that in my mind there was literally no way that it had anything to do with how the car was timed when we put the timing chain back on. Because generally, like, we were so careful that we cranked the engine over twice and then double checked our time, and at the time we thought it was good. I remember looking at it and specifically being like, yes, the timing is lined up, good to go, put the timing cover back on, no worries. Well, I took it to Chris, got to the dyno, and he immediately threw his laptop, plugged it into the car, and the first thing he said is that fault code is a mechanical fault code. There's nothing that your computer's doing that is throwing that code. That is 100% mechanical. And he looked at me like he was really apologetic because he knew I was about to get really frustrated, because basically him telling me that news told me that the car was timed wrong. Something happened when we put that tensioner back on, even though we double checked that time. Maybe we were distracted. I don't know. I swear to God it was lined up, but it was obviously not. So basically, got to the dyno, he plugged it in and told me, I'm really sorry, but you're gonna have to rip open your timing cover and check your timing again because something is wrong. So I didn't get to dyno the car. took it back, right back to the garage, and I had to get to work again. Now, the one good thing about having to tear into my timing cover, get the timing chain off the car for the third time in not too long of a time span is that I have gotten, surprisingly, really good at it. Being the first time I've ever torn into a Hemi like that, it only took me 3 hours to get that timing chain off this time, as opposed to, I think the first time we did it, it was kind of hard to tell because we did pull the heads off and everything too, so that was more to it. But even the second time we did it, where we were just taking the phaser off, like, I swear to God, it took probably like eight hours maybe, or something like that. I have a feeling by the time, it was something like that. But then by myself, doing it this third time, 3 hours, got that timing chain off, no problem. So then it was at this point that I called my good buddy Carmen back. My friend Carmen, who I've had in my cam install videos, who helped me out the last time. He is a over 20 years he's been a mechanic. He's got his own shop now, but he is the best mechanic I know. Super trustworthy guy. We've been friends since high school. He knows his stuff when it comes to cars. So when it came to something like a timing problem, he was the guy that I wanted to talk to about what was going on with the timing, because he could really check. We could really, really nail it down and figure out exactly what was going on with that timing. It's coming up, yeah. Whoa, dropping.
Dropping already?
Yeah, started to drop, yeah.
Just off. If we're dropping. The mark is here. You're saying we're topped out there?
Which is telling us, okay, so we're like,
We're off. Not much. We're off a tooth.
a tooth.
From what I'm seeing here.
It looks like it, hey?
So let's just do a double take here on that. Okay, grab that stick one more time.
Okay, double check it.
Tell me what you're feeling.
Up. Up. And now it's about to start going down.
Okay, so there's the rock.
Yeah. Like you had those two little movements where it did nothing. That was like dead. And then you hit the third one and it just started to drop like a hair.
So we have to back then. It's just.
Okay, nothing's happening, so that's gotta be the top.
Nothing still?
Nothing. Whoa, dropped a little.
Drop it here.
Okay, nothing.
Our cam jumped backwards. So that's cool. Down. Should have you get two fingers. Two cogs for our oil pump should be just like that. Side to side.
Deep. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got a turner, one tooth.
So close, but so far away.
Why is a computer gotta be so smart with that? Stupid thing. Let's watch if it kicks.
Okay, a little.
We got some more time yet. A bit more. A little bit more. Okay, can you pull your ratchet back to ratchet and this out of the way? Yeah, you got about a quarter tooth yet to go. one hair. Just a little hair. Okay. Probably should do it. Truly, if I can keep the chain where it is, I probably don't even have to use the marks, because I can just, it's already on the crank, right? I'm already on the crank.
Yeah, actually.
So I probably can just...
Because it would be the same, it's just literally 1, 2, 4.
Just drop on. Oh, look at that, Brad. Yeah. Getting close. Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, we're banging at the top.
Okay.
So we're lined up good.
Yeah.
Beauty, that's it.
So reinstall was super quick, which was good. And then I buttoned it back up and fired it back up. And thankfully, no codes, no anything. Car purred right back to life like nothing. No problems whatsoever. Car's back on the road. We're back. So now the next step is, again, properly this time, now that we have no codes and no anything, the car is not revving itself like crazy, it's time to get back to that dyno and see what the phase lock did for us. So stay tuned for that.